Black Friday is something that you actually need to prepare for much in advance, the same as you would, Christmas or any other big season in your business. And I think that that's the thing that small business owners miss the most in their marketing. Oftentimes it's like some sort of last minute pop-up. I woke up today and I just feel like doing this kind of offer. And don't get me wrong, those can be incredibly awesome because oftentimes that's what I do in my business. That tends to work with my energy, which ebbs and flows all over the board. But to truly have a really, really successful Black Friday campaign, it takes thought and planning in your marketing as a cohesive unit.
Welcome to Go Get Great, the podcast for aspiring entrepreneurs and ambitious small business owners. I'm your host, Brittany, owner of Brittany Miller Socials and mother of 3. Go Get Great is all about helping you make life and business work together. You'll learn about the fumbles that helped get me and my guests to where we are today so you don't have to make them. So come join the journey with Go Get Great.
What's on your shopping list this Black Friday? Did you know that statistics show that on average, 75 to 80% of shoppers are going to be focused on purchasing physical products on Black Friday, which means that there's still 20 to 25% of shoppers that are actually allocating their Black Friday shopping budget to investing in services. So this is huge news, which really blew my mind as a service-based provider. Black Friday to me has always been something that was like big box stores, Amazon. It was very product focused. But last year, I actually decided that I would take a stab at launching a Black Friday sale, and I was really, really surprised about the outcome of it. So I'm going to be talking today about Black Friday, do's and don'ts, how you can implement it no matter what kind of business it is that you're running, and take advantage of such a high spending season to use it to propel your business forward and really capitalize on all of that sales dollars. So I'm really happy to say that, looking at these new statistics and many others, Black Friday is no longer just for product-based businesses, and it's not just for big box stores. A lot of that spending capital is actually designed for small business owners. The shop local movement is really popular even for Black Friday. And there's actually something that I hadn't heard about, but just learned about this year, is a lot of businesses are doing what they now call Pink Friday. And it happens the Friday before Black Friday. And it's designed specifically for small-based businesses to kind of get in front of the big Black Friday movement that comes from all of the box stores. So I have a client of mine who's working with me to launch a Pink Friday campaign in her business. It was just kind of where I went down the rabbit hole of kind of how all of that works, what percentage of shoppers' budgets and like what things people are looking for Black Friday and or Pink Friday. So I'm excited to kind of share some of those findings and also some suggestions with you. So if you haven't started thinking about Black Friday yet, then you need to make sure you finish listening to this episode because, my friend, you might be a little bit behind the curve here. Don't worry, there's still plenty of time to get things done, but Black Friday is something that you actually need to prepare for much in advance, the same as you would, Christmas or any other big season in your business. And I think that that's the thing that small business owners miss the most in their marketing. Oftentimes it's like some sort of last minute pop-up. I woke up today and I just feel like doing this kind of offer. And don't get me wrong, those can be incredibly awesome because oftentimes that's what I do in my business. That tends to work with my energy, which ebbs and flows all over the board. But to truly have a really, really successful Black Friday campaign, it takes thought and planning in your marketing as a cohesive unit, which I'm going to talk a little bit more later in today's episode. But if you're planning on doing absolutely anything for Black Friday, or if you're not, but you're like, maybe I'll keep this in mind for next year, then definitely keep listening to today's episode. And I'm also going to link in the show notes to blogs that I've posted recently that are along the same topic and might provide some additional detail that I might not cover in today's podcast episode, which is going to have a little bit more of a storytelling focus. So last year, I mentioned that I launched a Black Friday campaign, and I was really curious to kind of see what happened as a service-based business. I had seen some other service-based businesses doing Black Friday promotions and deals, but I wasn't really sure whether or not that would work for me. So I decided that I was going to promote a new service, which in hindsight, we'll talk about Black Friday best practices and like do's and don'ts. In hindsight, this was not probably one of my better ideas, but it actually worked really well. It took me a little bit longer than I thought. I kind of launched my Black Friday sale early, at least when I was on discovery calls with clients. I had a couple calls earlier in November and I locked some clients in then, which is great. I was like, this is going to be fabulous. I haven't even promoted it. People are interested in it. This is going to be hugely successful for my business. And not to say that it wasn't successful, but I definitely didn't see the pickup as quially in the clients. And it was like, I had a couple booked early and then like right at the end, like the last day, there was like so many last minute people that were like locking that in too. So if you're thinking about doing Black Friday, learn from my mistakes and my experience with Black Friday. So like I said, I had a couple clients that locked in really early. Last year, what I did was kind of a launch focus on a new service. It wasn't really something new in my business. It's something that I have to do for my social media management clients. So at the time, I called it the quarterly content plan. I've since rebranded it. You may have heard me talk about it on social media as the 90-day marketing momentum map. So what it is like a super detailed and comprehensive marketing plan for business owners who are tired of not knowing what to post on Instagram or posting things that aren't really supporting their goals. It's not seeing the results that they're looking for. So overall, what it includes is 3 social media posts a week, 5 daily story ideas. So I give you weekends off. It also includes planning your weekly email and also 1 piece of long-form content. So it's meant to be a comprehensive plan that's actually going to streamline your marketing efforts and it's going to make it easier for you. So I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm struggling to post on social media. How do I add like email marketing and long-form content on top of it? Well, actually doing that makes it easier because then it gives you structure and focus for your weekly emails and your social media content. But we'll talk about kind of how long-form content fits into your content plan in another episode. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what it was that I was promoting. So I had to naturally do that for all of my social media management clients anyway, but it's the first time that I had ever launched it as a standalone offer to see who would be interested in just me handing them a plan, telling them this is what you should do and letting them kind of go off and run with it on their own. So it was really awesome to see my clients kind of take hold of that and bring it to life in their own unique way. So I really loved the results of it. And that's obviously why I still offer it in my business. It's actually one of my more popular services. I would say probably second only to my coaching. I'll link the details for it below so that you can learn more when this episode goes live. It's probably too late for me to actually do a content plan for you to get it back for like a Black Friday launch campaign. So keep it in mind for next year. But if you're considering doing something for the Christmas holidays, you might have it back in time for that. Or you can kind of start the new year with it. So it doesn't have to start at the beginning of a quarter. That's why I changed it to the 90-day marketing momentum map, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's the middle of a quarter. I was like, it doesn't matter when we start. I just mean that you're going to get 3 months worth of everything planned for you. So it was the first time that I had launched that. People knew me as a social media manager. They understood that I had social media skills, but like I said, it was the first time I had really tried to sell a strategy service on its own. So I wasn't sure what the uptake on it was going to be. I hadn't really promoted it. So when I was trying to put together social media content and emails for it, I actually found it really challenging because truthfully, I wasn't sure what clients' pain points were, why someone would want it. Like I knew why someone would want it. They're really frustrated of not knowing. They're not posting consistently because they never know how to show up online, what they should be talking about, all of those things. But I didn't know what specifically wording and verbiage would, I don't want to say strike the nerve, but like have someone light up and go, oh my God, yes, she gets it. This is what I've been struggling with. This is what I didn't know I needed. Because everyone's like, oh, I need social media management. I need someone else to do it for me, which can be helpful for your business, but doesn't necessarily mean that that's the specific thing you need. So I think that was why I didn't have a lot of conversions right at the beginning of the sale, because it took me kind of getting in people's inboxes and talking through their problems and being like, no, I really do think that this is the best solution for you based on what you've told me. So I think that's why the clarity calls that I had booked converted early, and then why some people kind of got in at the end of it. So there was a lot of like learning experience in that. And then I took all that experience and I'm putting it into today's podcast episode and also to the 2 blogs that I already talked about that you can definitely go and check out. So if you're like, I have literally no idea what to post for Black Friday, let's kind of dive into that first. So if you're a product-based business, kind of 3 ideas that would be relatively easy for you to kind of put together and start focusing on would be offering, number one, either a discount, free shipping, or some sort of bonus for people. So, I mean, that's not super out of the box, but it's not out of the box because it works, and that's why businesses do it. So you can definitely do that on Black Friday. Many other businesses are doing that. It's kind of like Black Friday standard. So if that's something you want to do because that sounds really accessible for you based on where you are in your business, then go forth. That is a fabulous option. If you want to be doing something a little bit different, then you could consider option number 2, maybe offering a product bundle. So customers love a good deal, and they love to know what items go really well with the things that they're already purchasing. So a bundle is a great way to offer that. So maybe you're matching a scarf and a glove set together. So people get the scarf and the glove that really complement each other. It helps them take the thinking out of, okay, well, now I've just purchased a scarf, but like, what else do I get that will go with my like winter outfit without looking weird? Or maybe you pair a scarf and a glove set that comes together already with a skincare kit so that in the winter they can wear these beautiful items and then also stay moisturized, because the cold winter weather, at least in Canada, can be really harsh on your skin. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like a direct correlation product to product, but it can be kind of cross-related items that make sense based on the season that we're in. And you obviously would, again, want to pick a price that's a steal. So you're still offering a little bit of a discount potentially here, but it's more so focused on promoting the bundle and how these items complement each other. So the third option that you could do is a free gift with purchase. So this one might be a little bit more challenging because sometimes it requires planning ahead to order extra items. So you could do like a freebie if someone spends and you want to make sure that it's going to be a little bit of a stretch. Like if your average order total, which is a metric that you're going to want to be tracking as a product-based business, if your average order total is $150, then maybe they get the freebie at $200 or $250. So you want to incentivize people to purchase more than they typically would. That's why it's like a Black Friday promotion. And when they purchase at that higher amount, then they get this free item. So maybe it's like a swag tote bag or a swag t-shirt or sweater or a pen or a coffee mug or whatever it is that you want to do. Or maybe you just want to offer an additional product that you already have available. And maybe it's something that, has been discontinued, but you still have a little bit of inventory left. Then you could do things like that. Like swag bags are a great way to kind of combine a few different things. You want to make sure that it's a lower ticket item, but something that still has value for people that they're going to be interested in. So if they're at $150 and they need to get to $200, then you need to make sure that your item that you're giving away for free is going to be $50 or less. Otherwise, you're actually losing money by offering this. So there's a little bit of like logistical planning that needs to go into kind of that aspect of it. But that can be a great way to incentivize people to purchase more, or just in general to place an order during Black Friday. They might have had an item sitting in their shopping cart, but they're like, oh, cool. Well, I'm going to buy this now and I'm going to get this free thing. Well, now this is a great time to do it so that doesn't sit in their cart perpetually without them actually purchasing. So those are some ideas for product-based businesses. If you're like me as a service-based provider, I kind of have hit and miss feelings with discounts. Sometimes I feel like it's great, and other times I feel like it lowers the value of the service that I offer. Because if I'm willing to do a service for, $300 less, then why is that just not the standard price of it? Like I pick the prices for my services, and part of my human design is that I struggle with pricing what some people would consider appropriately for the time investment that goes into it. So usually my prices are like, this is how much I literally need to basically sometimes not even cover the time that I put into the service, because I really do focus on service and value to others more so than, Brittany wants to be a millionaire one day, because that's not really a goal that I have. But anyway, kind of a separate thing. So I have hit and miss feelings, and I don't really like discounting my services, because then I'm like actually losing money to deliver the service for you. And I do want to offer value, but I do have to pay the bills. So oftentimes I'll offer a bonus service or a bonus resource in addition to things. So you've really seen me kind of implement that more in my business this year. I've done a lot of more bonus-based offers. And that's actually what I'm going to be doing this Black Friday as well. So I kind of hinted about it on social media. You may have seen it. I'm going to be doing an email themed promotion for this Black Friday. So I guess I can share it with you guys now since I've more or less worked out all the details. We're just working on putting all of the pieces together into my marketing plan. We're working on the email sequence this week. So my email marketing setup package is going to be the kind of the primary focus. It's $1,111 plus HST. But when you book during Black Friday, you're going to get an additional bonus of your choice of either 2 social media posts, which will promote the lead magnet that we create in the email setup so that it helps you grow your list right from the beginning and you start your kind of email marketing endeavors with people that are excited to hear from you. Or you can choose, if you don't want the 2 social media posts, you can choose 1 month of free email marketing services after the setup is done, which is a steal. It's like a $380 value if you're doing weekly emails. Which, I would encourage to at least get you started since I'm offering it for free. So that's going to be kind of the other bonus there. So it is a really great, additional incentive if email marketing was something that you were considering anyway. So definitely make sure you stay tuned for more details about that. But I also know that not every business owner needs to set up email marketing because maybe you've already done it. That would be swell. You hear me talk about how awesome it is all the time. So I didn't want to kind of exclude everyone that's like, well, I'm already more advanced than that in my business. So I'm also going to be offering a promotion on email marketing for anyone that's ready to kind of double down and get better results from their email marketing. So my email marketing is awesome because it includes all of the strategy and big picture planning. And it also includes the designing, the copying, and the building and sending. So literally all you have to do is go, yes, Brittany, this looks amazing. And then off it goes. So it's a fabulous way to kind of outsource a piece of your business that is likely to yield really great returns for you. So the email marketing promotion, if that's something you're interested in, is going to be book for 3 months and get a discount on 50% off the 4th month of your email marketing when you commit to the 3 months. Or if you commit to 6 months, then you get the 7th month for free, which I think is a fabulous offer and I'm really excited for it. And you still have the option to pay monthly with that as well. So it's not like you have a really big upfront expense to pay for them the time period, but you do have to commit to either the 3 months or the 6 months to get the bonus. So that's what I'm going to be doing for Black Friday. I'm offering a bonus service for my email setup. It's technically a little bit of a discount for the email management, but it's one that I think is okay. So, I guess I like I said, I do sometimes do discounts, but for the most part, I do like offering bonus offers instead. So the other thing that would be kind of a great add-on thing that you could do for service-based businesses is adding accountability, co-working, or networking opportunities for people that are purchasing services with you. So this could work especially well if you have courses or group coaching options. This was something that I considered as well, doing an accountability group for people that were interested in purchasing my course, but it's under revamp right now and it's not going to be ready to go in time for Black Friday. But that's something that's really helpful too, especially when you have some of those more hands-off products where you're not actively engaging with your audience. A lot of people are really looking for that one-on-one, I don't want to call it hand-holding, but one-on-one support to implement things that they might learn in a course or in downloadable resources and things like that without having a really high ticket purchase of an individualized coaching session. So those could be really great options as well. Or you could do more of a VIP package. This is the third option, VIP package or early access to basically pre-sell something that you're going to be launching in January, let's say. So if you have a course that's coming up or a new group coaching service or something else, you can be like, hey, this is coming up. If you purchase during Black Friday, you're getting 50% off the typical service. So, I guess that is kind of a discount, but it's more so in pre-selling and making sure that you're booked out for the new year. Okay, so let's talk marketing tips and Black Friday do's and don'ts. So marketing tip number 1, please start marketing now. Now. It is a really, really noisy season because big businesses have maxed their ads budget right now. They are promoting Black Friday. They're getting primed for Christmas. Did you know that some people start doing paid advertising for Christmas in August. Yeah, they do. Now, I'm not saying they're like, this is our holiday sale, but you need to start warming up your audience to get them to know you a little bit better. If they're new people, maybe you want to get a few new people in your world, and you want to make sure that people really, really understand that you are an expert or you are a product-based business that has a solution to the problem they have. So your marketing efforts right now don't need to be like, this is my Black Friday sale. You don't need to include any of that at all, but you need to be focusing on content that is educating and entertaining and helping you connect with more of your ideal people, or trying to re-engage some of the people that are already following you that maybe haven't seen your content in a while. So that's kind of the focus for, you should be doing that like 2 to 3 weeks at least. So kind of like 4 to 6 weeks before the promotion happens. And then there's kind of 2 other different phases that you can talk about there. That is in one of the 2 blog posts that I published recently, so you can learn more details about that. But basically, when you're hearing this episode going live, you need to be starting working on that, what I consider attraction marketing now, so that you have people that are like interested in what you have to offer by the time you're ready to actually announce your Black Friday sale closer to Black Friday. So that's big tip number 1. It is not too early to start now. Tip number 2, don't pitch something new. So this was, like I said, the mistake that I made kind of last year. People knew me as a social media person, but they didn't know me as a strategy, basically, coach. So it was a little bit harder, I think, for me to sell that service, because people are like, well, we don't really understand and we don't really know what Brittany's talking about, because Brittany does social media management. So not only was I like trying to combat all the marketing noise of everyone else that was running Black Friday promotions, but now I had to educate my audience on the fact that I help with strategy and that is something that I can do. So you want to pick something that people know you for already, and focus on that, because it's going to be much easier for someone to say, oh yeah, I've been following Brittany for so long, for 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is. And they go, okay, I know that Brittany is really good at writing emails that convert and help drive sales in my business. Brittany's fabulous at helping me figure out what kind of lead magnet I need to start growing my list better, so that it's not crickets when I hit send every time. And it's going to be more likely that they're going to be like, okay, yes, I would like to do email marketing setup or email management with Brittany come Black Friday, because they already know that you're good at that thing, or that it's a product you offer. Like, don't launch a new product or a new service for Black Friday. Pick something that is like really popular, or maybe like semi-popular, that is like gaining popularity, and focus your marketing efforts on educating people on the importance of that specific item or that specific service. That is one of the best things to do. New is not good. It takes too much warm up and lead up time. You would have needed to start marketing in like early October for that. So the tip number 3, you need to mesh everything together. So this is like what I talk about a lot in my 90-day marketing momentum map, and also something that I try and practice and preach as well. So you'll probably see that I'm going to be talking a little bit more about email marketing over the next little bit, because I'm doing an email marketing sale. So I need people to understand the importance of email marketing, why it's going to help them, how I can help them do it, so that again, when Black Friday comes around, ding ding, they're going to hit buy now. So that's my social media content, that's my email content, and obviously that's my podcast. Well, not obviously, today's more of a Black Friday promotion, but I'm also recording some episodes specifically about email marketing later this afternoon. So you're going to be hearing some more email focused episodes, and potentially some more email focused blog content. So basically everything that you are marketing between when you hear this and Black Friday should be focused on the topic. Doesn't have to be the specific thing, but the topic that your Black Friday sale is going to be about. So let's say you're running a 25% off discount on your skincare. You need to be talking about your different skincare options, why skincare is so important, the different types of skincare out there, how you determine what skincare is best for you. It should be in your social media content. It should be in your emails. It should be in your long form content. Make sure that by the time Black Friday rolls around, your audience is like, ugh, again? Which, for the record, they won't be, because no one ever sees every message we put out. But like, that's the kind of attitude that we need to have about it. Shout it from the rooftops. I say this so much, and then every time I talk to business owners, they're like, but I talk about it too much. My audience is bored. My audience is fatigued. No, they're not. No, they're not. I look at your content. You're not talking about it enough. I promise you, you're not talking about it enough. So make sure that you talk about it a lot and that it's everywhere. And if you're using paid ads, make sure that you do it with a very targeted approach, not like 2 days before the Black Friday sale starts or the day it starts and you run like a 48-hour ad that's like 50% off Black Friday, click now, buy now. That is not going to convert. That is going to be like lighting money on fire and watching it evaporate. Please don't do that. You need to be like strategically doing ad campaigns. You should be starting it like 6 to 8 weeks in advance as well, if that's something that you're going to be doing to generate your audience, and then retarget your audience with more specific advertising and messaging about your product or service. So that's kind of like a whole separate thing. And paid ads isn't really something that I talk about a lot. Maybe I'll do some more episodes about that later, but I want business owners to be smart about their time and about their financial investment leading up to Black Friday. Don't think that investing $2,000 in 48 hours worth of ads on Facebook is going to generate a $5,000 ROI, because it's probably not. You haven't given it the runway that it needs, and your messaging is likely not on point if you're putting together something that last minute. So just be smart about what it is that you plan on doing for Black Friday, so that we're all making wise investments that do actually yield ROI. Okay, and my fourth and last tip for Black Friday marketing is schedule it in advance. Don't try and do it the day of. It's stressful. Life happens, especially if you're a parent. Your kids get sick. Clients need you to do extra things that week. Like when it rains, it pours. It always does. Schedule it in advance. So like I said, we're working on my email sequence now. It's the end of October. I'm recording this on Halloween. This episode probably won't go up for a couple weeks, but by the time this episode goes live, my emails will be locked and loaded. They will be done. I will not have to think about them at all. It's going to be glorious. It's just going to be like, that is the feeling you will have when you schedule this stuff in advance. So once we tackle that, we're going to be moving on to scheduling my blog content. Obviously, I'm already working on my podcast because we're talking about all this stuff. And then I'm going to tackle my social media content. So my goal is that when my promotion is open for Black Friday, basically all I have to do is show up on my stories and talk to people and answer questions in the DMs and maybe the occasional email if people have questions. I am just available for support. I am not in active marketing mode by the time Black Friday hits. And that's how you keep yourself from getting so stressed out, which is another reason why you need to start planning all of this stuff like 6 to 8 weeks in advance so that you've got the runway and the time to get it all ready. So just one more thing that I want to talk about before we wrap up today's episode about Black Friday, and that's helping you overcome some of those fears and limiting beliefs that you might have about Black Friday. So one of the biggest ones is, what if my offer doesn't work? Which sounds like a realistic concern to have, but I mean, you also have to think of it from the perspective of, well, if you don't offer anything, it's definitely not going to work. Like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That kind of quote, that's the mentality we need to have for Black Friday. And you don't want to let that hold you back because, like you said, if you don't launch a Black Friday campaign, you're not making any Black Friday money. So trying something is better than not trying anything at all. And you know what? Even if literally no one buys your Black Friday offer, I guarantee you that it was still worth it because it taught you something. And every perceived failure is actually just a learning opportunity in disguise. So it might teach you how not to message it, how not to message the product or service in the future, because obviously you realize that didn't resonate with your audience. So maybe I thought that people's biggest pain point was not knowing what to post on Instagram. And that was what I spent the next 6 weeks promoting. It's not what I'm featuring, but let's say that I did. But turns out that's not why people love my content plan. Maybe they love my content plan because they don't know how to integrate all of their marketing. So they are like, well, I don't know what to post on Instagram today. So I'm just not going to post, but like I have this email coming out, but like, do I do the social media post before, after? Maybe it's more of the logistical piece of how to put it all together and make it cohesive. Maybe that's what they were really interested in, but I wouldn't know that if I didn't test a marketing angle to then learn from it and then go out and do something better in the future. Also, a lot of times we say this marketing stat, and I mean, truthfully, I feel like it's really outdated, but it takes 7 to 10 interactions of the same marketing message before someone's ready to buy, which is again why we need to market so early so we can get all of those messages in. Truthfully speaking, I feel like it's much more than that. I heard a study and I really wish I had figured out where it came from so that I could dive into it more. But there was a study done more recently that talked about how a lot of people need up to 200 micro touch points before they're ready to make a purchase. So those micro touch points could be a combination of social media posts, emails, podcasts, maybe paid advertising, maybe seeing you drive by with a sticker on your car, maybe it's showing up at a networking event. It's all of those little things, and it takes a lot more than we realize because there's just so much more noise now in the marketing world than there was 5 to 10 years ago when they did the study originally. So I am a firm believer that it is way more than 10, way more than 10 touch points and marketing messages that need to be seen before someone's ready to post. So you need to be doing that in enough time. But if you start it, at least for Black Friday, even if it's 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks in advance, even if people don't buy for Black Friday, they now understand your business and your product and service offerings so much better. So maybe they buy in December, or maybe they buy in January, maybe it's next March, but I guarantee you that no matter what marketing effort you do for Black Friday, it is not a waste because you are educating your audience on your offers, and that will always pay off in the long run. So kind of the second limiting belief that we need to overcome, well, I don't have a big enough audience to do anything for Black Friday, or I only have 100 people on my email list, or 100 social media followers. Size doesn't matter. It doesn't. I would much rather have 100 super engaged people on my email list than 100,000 that have no cares and don't interact with my content and don't buy anything when I send out an email. So even if you have 10 people on your email list, still send an email out about Black Friday, because maybe those 10 people are really excited that you're doing something and they're going to take advantage of it. So don't let perceived audience size dictate whether or not you run a Black Friday campaign, because I guarantee you someone out there is going to be super excited that you're doing something that they're interested in purchasing. And you can also focus on building more relationships between now and then. So maybe you have 100 followers when you're listening to the episode today, but maybe by the time Black Friday rolls around, you have 125, 150, maybe you even have 200. Social media growth is super unpredictable. So don't just say because today I don't have a big enough audience. For starters, don't say that ever. But doesn't mean that you won't have a big enough audience come actually Black Friday. So kind of the last one that I want to touch on, what if my promotions aren't appealing enough? Well, my friend, your promotions do not need to be flashy to be effective. We kind of talked about that a little bit before. The key is just to really understand what it is that your audience is interested in and craft something that's going to genuinely solve a problem or spark excitement for them. So this all comes back to market research, which I'll be the first to admit I'm not great at doing. I'm really not. I have all these fabulous ideas and I feel like there's always someone out there who's going to be excited for them. They may not be someone out there that is in my current audience, but someone is going to love it. And I have a tendency to just roll where the wind takes me and where my inspiration goes, which is not always fabulous. And it's always better to actually talk to your audience and see what it is that they need. So I really do know that a lot of people are craving more accountability and support. And that's why my coaching options have been so popular lately and why I've been working with some super incredible business owners. So truthfully, I really wanted to do a Black Friday promotion that was a little bit more accountability and coaching focused. But given life situations and my current client load, it's just not something that I could commit to and be able to deliver on at the level that I am really interested in delivering on. So I took that information from my market research and I'm benching the idea until sometime in December, maybe early January, and then I'm going to do something. So it's not going to be a Black Friday promotion, but it's still listening to my audience, understanding and hearing more about what they need, and then putting that into your marketing. So if that's something you're like, what is market research and how to do it? Send me a DM and let me know, because I've never actually done a podcast episode about market research. Ooh, I should. Let me know if that's something that you guys would like to do, because it is something that's super critical, and it's usually the one step that can make or break promotions and marketing efforts. And it's usually the step that entrepreneurs skip. So let's try not to do that. Let's make smart, informed marketing decisions based on what our audience actually needs and wants and what we're excited about delivering and facilitating for them. So I really hope that you found today's episode helpful. Like I mentioned, it would be a great option for you to go and read the blog posts, which share more details about what I've been talking about on today's podcast. But I'm really excited for my upcoming Black Friday promotion, and I'm super excited to see what it is that you guys are doing. So send me a message on Instagram and tell me what it is that you're planning for Black Friday. I would love to know about it. Maybe it's something that I'll be able to support in some way as well, so that we can all have an incredibly successful Black Friday like I did last year. I was able to pre-book some clients while Black Friday was in late November last year as well. I think it's the same time of year. Some holidays move, but I pre-booked clients from my Black Friday sale in December and January, and some even into early spring. So it was a fabulous just kind of peace of mind for me to know that I had that income available and able to help me plan better. So it is a great tool for service-based businesses, and it's always a nice revenue bump for product-based businesses as well. So definitely don't sit out Black Friday. Just make sure that you kind of spend some time strategically thinking about what makes the most sense for you to do, and then start doing it as soon as you possibly can. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode of the Go Get Great podcast. Keep going, keep growing, and go get great.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Go Get Great. I hope you found some useful tips and tricks that can help you make life and business work together. If what I said resonates with you, please share it on social media, and don't forget to tag at Brittany Miller Socials so that I can celebrate you for taking those first steps towards achieving greatness. Remember, success doesn't happen overnight. It takes dedication, hard work, and a lot of spirit. So don't be afraid to dream big and go after what you want. Keep striving for greatness. You get closer with every step forward, no matter how small they may seem. Until next time, go get great.